Maybe we could talk about the result of maybe couples that are together who don't consent to their partners, looking at certain adult content. The effects that might have is sometimes forefront in these conversations. But if we can try to circle around and talk less about like what's moral or immoral, but I mean, I guess that's important too. But but let's also talk about like the result of why people are seeking this out in the first place, the arousal and the whatever it is that it might be. So I'll hand you over the floor, Andrew, and you can explain your thoughts about. I don't know. Can we get away with? I looked up on the rules of YouTube. I think we can say meat beaten. So go ahead there, Andrew.
Just real quick, can you summarize what you're asking me?
Yeah, so the reason that people are seeking out this in the first place, and what type of impact that could have on their relationships, whether they are just looking at it casually, or if they're actually engaging physically with themselves.
The reasons people are looking towards corn
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
because they want to watch it.
Okay.
That's why. That's why. I mean, that's why they're looking for it. It's because they
Uh,
want to watch it. I
well,
don't. I guess I'm confused in what you're asking.
okay. Well, I guess just talking about like the moral, yeah, like getting back into that moral argument of, like I say, people usually. I'm trying to be within TOS here, but basically, people are looking for this to master, obviously. So,
Yeah.
your thoughts on people, I guess, that are seeking that out specifically, and thoughts that might, around what that might have impacting on their relationships. We are at 45 minutes as well, so if you guys want to take a break, use the washroom, take out your catheter, whatever you got to do, you can do that too. But if you
I'm
want to
fine to keep
answer,
going.
yeah, okay, if you want to, yeah, get into that, that might be useful.
Yeah. So I mean, I think masturbation is bad, and that people shouldn't do it, and that they would do it less if they weren't watching porn. And I think porn's bad because it's intrinsically bad.
So, based on your worldview, should people be imprisoned for masturbating?
Nope, that's not intrinsically bad.
But porn is.
Yeah, porn is intrinsically bad
So, why is masturbation not, based on your
because
worldview?
because of my preference. Duh.
Can you answer the question
I
honestly?
did answer the question honestly. That's the same exact reasoning that you would have because of my preference. That's what makes it bad.
Should people be imprisoned for adultery based on the Bible?
Yeah, that's bad intrinsically.
So, you would support Donald Trump going to jail?
No, 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 because that's against my preference.
Okay. So, you're just being bad faith again?
Why,
Okay.
why do you keep saying it's bad faith? Can you tell me what's bad faith about what I'm doing right
Well,
now?
because I just like caught you in a contradiction.
What was the contradiction?
So, I got you to admit that people who commit adultery
Hmm.
should go to jail. So, I said, so should Donald Trump go to jail? And you said no, because that's my preference.
Yeah,
Being
yeah, but
completely bad faith
what's the
and
ultimate arbiter?
contradictory.
What's the ultimate arbiter of what is intrinsically bad other than my preference?
Well, your preference is that adultery is evil, right? Based on
Unless
the Bible?
unless my preference changes, right?
Well, no, because you've already stated that your preferences are unchanging multiple
Hmm.
times throughout this debate because
Yeah.
it completely hinges on God's moral
Okay.
system.
Well, I'll just go ahead and grant it, just like for the fun of it. I
So
think
you
that
think
if
Donald Trump should go to
you
jail?
have committed adultery in the past, you get a clemency. But if you commit adultery in the future, straight to fucking jail.
That makes no sense
Why?
because at any point, those events would be in the past.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about giving everybody a pardon and giving them a clean slate, and then anytime they commit adultery in the future,
Is that just
right
to
to
get
jail.
around Donald Trump going to jail or?
No, that's my view. It's intrinsically bad.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right, if we've hit a wall there, we can get into the Q&A there, guys. That's no problem at all. So if you guys want to.
I don't want to get in the Q&A. I want to actually know why any of the shit that I believe, other than from her subjective worldview of my preferences, is actually bad or in any way objectionable
I'll check in
Because
15
I
then.
think it
Let's
is
do it.
bad to violate people's personal autonomy.
because it's intrinsically bad, right?
Hmm.
So then
Suffering is
anything that
intrinsically bad.
so then anything I say is intrinsically bad has to be bad, right?
No.
What? Now that's a contradiction. So then you have to be
Based on
admitting
your
then.
moral
So
worldview,
then
no.
diddly, everything everything which exists in all of reality. You are the ultimate arbiter of what morality is.
Okay, obviously I think
of
I
what is
have
intrinsically bad.
obviously I think I have a better moral system compared to you. That's why I believe it. You obviously think you have a better moral system than I do. That's why you believe it. That's why
What do you
anyone
mean? I'm
believes in
using
their
your
own moral
same moral
frameworks.
system.
No, you aren't.
Yes, I am. Same moral system. It's bad because it's bad.
Okay, well, can we use your moral framework? Can we like
yeah, it's
be good
bad.
faith?
It's bad because it's bad. Yes. Anything
Yes,
against
so
my
adultery is bad,
preferences.
and you
Listen,
think adulterers
let's
should go to jail.
here. Let me
So you
demonstrate
are
this
in
better.
support of Donald Trump going to jail, right?
Yeah, unless, like I said, I would give clemency to everybody and start the slate clean.
Yes,
and then
because you
anybody in
have
the future,
no real fucking morals and you don't actually believe in anything you're saying.
What do you mean? Do you think that because I think abortion is bad intrinsically?
It's completely contradictory
No,
to
it's not.
your entire
What's the
moral framework.
contradiction? People
The
get clemency for
contradiction
bad
is
things all
that
the
you
time.
said adultery is sinful. Therefore,
Yeah.
people who commit adultery should go to jail. I asked you, should Donald Trump go to jail? You said no. That is a contradiction.
No, I gave you a qualifier. The qualifier was because in my system, anybody who's ever committed adultery gets a
Yes,
clean
but
slate.
we've already established that your moral framework is divine command theory, which means
we
that
established my moral
anything
framework is
that is
whatever the
commanded
fuck
by
I
God to
think
be
is-
immoral
Why is
is
that bad?
unchanging.
Why is that bad?
Can you answer the question?
Yeah, sure. You know what? I'll just bite that bullet too. Everything God says
So
is
you
bad
agree that you
is
were
bad.
making a
If God
contradiction?
says, hang on, if God says rape is good, and he says that everything you think is bad is good, right? We should fucking do it. Tell me why that's wrong.
Because that would be in violation of people's personal autonomy.
Which is intrinsic,
But
which
I'm
is
glad,
bad.
but I'm
right?
glad you
Which
bite
is
the
bad.
bullet that I'm glad you bite the bullet that when God condones
cares?
rape,
Like, who cares?
genocide,
Why would it matter?
slavery, murder, that's all cool to you just because
Yeah.
God commands it.
Can you change, real quick, Diddley, can you change what you think is intrinsically bad? Can you change that?
Can I change based on empirical evidence? Sure.
Yeah. So it would be logically possible then that you could change that things which were intrinsically bad now lined up with everything I thought was bad, right? Logically, that's possible.
Wait, what do you mean?
So everything, whatever it is you think that I want, that's bad. It could be logically possible that if data appeared to you in a magic sheet that showed you that everything I wanted actually changed your mind to say, oh, wait, actually, that's everything he has preference against is intrinsically bad. Wouldn't you do it?
Sure, in a magical hypothetical world that doesn't exist. But again, I like to live in reality, so.
Oh, you like to live in reality?
Yeah.
Where bad is bad because you say it's fucking bad, that's reality?
Do you disagree that suffering is intrinsically bad?
Yeah.
Why?
Because people go to the gym and suffer.
I would disagree that that's called suffering.
Oh, you don't think that being in pain is suffering?
Well, the people I know who go to gym say it's a great pain and it feels awesome.
Yeah, and except for the people that it's not great for. And they still do it for their health, and so they're definitely suffering to improve their health, and that doesn't
There are
seem
people
very
who
bad.
like get really harsh massages that hurt. Like this isn't the kind of suffering I'm referring to.
Oh, well, what kind of suffering are you referring to?
I'm referring to violation of someone's personal autonomy so long as it doesn't infringe on other people's personal
Yeah,
autonomy.
but that's not suffering. Like, if that's the
Well, no,
case,
it
here, I'll
is.
explain. If that's the case, if you say that it's just a violation of personal autonomy, meaning that the person, are you just saying the person gets a yucky feeling? Is that what suffering is? Like,
Do
what
you
is it?
agree that violating people's agency is
asking me fucking
literally
questions
a
and ask
detriment to
mine.
their health?
No, it can't. It's not always detriment to their health.
You don't think
In
violating
fact,
people's agency is a detriment to their
Fuck
health?
no. If you were about to kill yourself, I would definitely kick the gun out of your hand and knock you unconscious. What did I do wrong?
Okay. So I've
Now
discussed
answer my
this
fucking question for once. Holy shit. If you were
I
about to
was
kill
about
yourself,
to. I was about to.
and
Would
I
you like me to
kicked the
answer?
gun out of your hand and knock you unconscious, didn't I
Would
violate
you
your
like
autonomy?
me to answer it?
Didn't I violate your autonomy?
All right.
Didn't I violate your autonomy?
So there are certain harms
Mhm.
that we deem acceptable
We
and some
deem-
that are unacceptable.
Nope.
All right,
You
hold
said
on,
it's
hold on,
intrinsically
hold on,
bad.
Hold on.
Killing
Even if you
yourself
think she's putting
is
herself on the
obviously-
wire here, let's let her answer.
Mhm.
Killing yourself is obviously a harm that we wouldn't want. Even if someone is They feel like it would make them happy if they killed themselves. Like, obviously, they're mentally
Well,
ill. There is
then
some.
autonomy isn't
We should
violating
try and help
autonomy.
that person.
Then
Hold on.
you just got caught in an actual contradiction, which is
No, I haven't,
this
because I've been very
violating.
consistent from
If
the
you
very beginning.
violate somebody's
I've been very
autonomy,
consistent
stop,
from the
stop.
very
My turn.
beginning.
My turn. You said if you violate somebody's autonomy, that's intrinsically bad. If that's the case,
No, that's not what I said.
my turn.
Well, hold
If
on.
it's the
Hold on.
case
There's a
that it's
clarification.
intrinsically bad, and then you would still violate it for some other reason, then it can't be fucking intrinsically bad, can it?
Okay,
Doofus?
so that's not what I said. I said suffering is intrinsically bad. And
Oh,
also I've mentioned like
not
from
autonomy.
the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Yeah, even though you said autonomy four
No, I've
times.
said from the beginning that
Nope.
obviously there are some
Would you
points
like
where
to
we
hear
like
yourself
violate someone's personal autonomy for the
Yeah.
greater good, or because they
Here.
are infringing on other people's
I'll
autonomy.
I'll
I've
ask
been
the
very
Crucible.
consistent
Yeah,
from
I'll
that
ask the
from the
Crucible.
very
The Crucible
beginning.
will send me the clip right now. Send me the clip real quick of her saying it's intrinsically bad to violate somebody's personal autonomy. Go ahead and
I've
send me the
said
clip.
from the very
I'm gonna
beginning
play the clip for you, and then when I do, will you
that we
concede?
do violate
Right.
people's personal autonomies in the case where they are infringing on someone else's
Then it can't be
autonomy.
intrinsically bad.
That's why I said suffering is intrinsically
No,
bad.
but so if I show you a clip of you saying autonomy is intrinsically bad, did you just misspeak?
Yeah, if that clip exists.
Oh, okay. So suffering's intrinsically bad then.
Yes.
Okay, and what is suffering? Because you said it's
Suffering.
violating personal autonomy. I just want to let you know. But anyway, go ahead. What is suffering?
Suffering is like any negative outcome based on someone's well-being.
How? What? That's it's any negative outcome based on someone's well-being. Is that actually what you think suffering is? You might want to revise that. Just think about it for 2 seconds here. You really think suffering is a negative outcome based on somebody's well-being?
Well, suffering is like multifaceted. Like there's lots of ways we
Then
can
what
go
is
about
it?
this.
Then just tell me what it is from your view. What is suffering?
Basically a detriment to someone's well-being.
Okay, so if that's the case, a detriment to somebody's well-being, the person themselves is going to be the one who chooses that, right? What is detrimental to their well-being?
Not necessarily, again, because like if someone wants to off themselves or they want to like harm themselves in some way, and that's
Then it can't be just something that's detrimental to somebody's well-being unless
sure.
you
Like I
get,
said, there are other
otherwise,
things.
well, okay, then what is it?
And it is like highly subjective from person to person as well.
So then
Like,
what is it?
for example, like it would be really bad if pornography got banned as someone who watches it and enjoys it myself, which would lead to suffering. But for you, that wouldn't lead to suffering. So it's not like a one size fits all kind of thing.
So then suffering, so then if it is the case, then that suffering actually is not intrinsically bad, right?
What do you mean?
Well, it's a subjective variable. So, I mean, you don't think it's intrinsically
No,
bad.
well, the things that cause suffering are subjectives.
You being a prostitute causes me suffering. Is that bad? Intrinsically?
Wait, that's not what I'm saying. I'm
Well,
saying
what are you saying?
suffering is intrinsically bad.
Yeah, you being a prostitute caused me to suffer. Is that bad?
The feeling of suffering is bad, yes. It's
Then
bad that you're suffering.
Then shouldn't you stop being a prostitute so I stop suffering?
No.
That's another contradiction.
Wait, no, it isn't.
So then I thought you said it's intrinsically bad. Suffering's
Yes,
intrinsically bad.
what? Yes, as in like the feeling of suffering in itself is intrinsically bad. That's what I mean by intrinsically.
Oh, okay. So just the feeling of suffering is bad.
Yes.
Okay. So anything which causes me to have a bad feeling that I'm suffering is bad.
No.
What?
Suffering
Wait,
in
what?
itself. Suffering in itself
Who
is a
determines-
bad feeling.
Who determines what is suffering other than the person?
That's not the question. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, it
We're not-
has to be. If I'm
suffering
the
is
person who
bad.
determines what is suffering.
Okay, do you agree pleasure is good and suffering is bad?
No. I haven't even
So
determined what bad is.
pleasure doesn't feel good? Pleasure doesn't
when you
feel good.
say you're making category error here. When you say good here, when you say does this taste
It
good?
makes us feel
Yeah,
good.
when you say does
Yes.
this taste good, right? For this case, you're asking a different question than is this morally good, which is what I'm asking. I'm not asking if something tastes good. I'm asking if it is morally good. So what I'm asking you is what is suffering? Like when I ask you what is bad, you keep on deviating. First it was what is bad is intrinsically it's violating personal
Well,
autonomy.
no, I
One,
think
hang on,
we just had like
stop
a
1 second.
misunderstanding because you thought I was saying it's
Okay,
bad morally when I was
okay.
just
If you
saying
think
it's
we just had,
bad, obviously. That's what intrinsic
wait,
means.
it's not. Wait, it's not immoral.
What do you think intrinsic means?
It means as part of the thing itself. The thing itself, and
Yes.
as a baseline in the thing itself, it is X.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
So that's
great.
not making a moral statement.
Oh, it's not. So then when
No.
I'm okay, so then I just want to know this. What is morally bad?
In my worldview,
Hmm.
violating people's personal autonomy, so
Oh,
long as
I
they're
thought you
not
said you didn't
infringing
say
on
that.
other people's what?
Well, you just said earlier that you never said that violating people's
No, no,
personal
did
autonomy
you
was
not
bad.
did you not hear the last part?
No, I guess I didn't. What?
So if you are infringing on someone else's personal autonomy and you
Mhm.
violated the social contract, we can take away some of your personal freedoms, for example, incarceration, for the greater good of society.
And what's the social contract?
Utilitarianism.
Utilitarianism is a social contract,
Well, it's the one that we're working under, yeah, in reality.
and it's okay. So the social contract is utilitarianism. Utilitarianism being to limit harm.
Maximizing, yeah, well-being, limiting harm.
Okay, so just to back up, just to make sure I get this right, anything which does not maximize well-being and limit harm would be immoral.
Anything that doesn't maximize well-being.
Yeah.
Well, this would circle back to like if you're infringing on someone else's personal autonomy,
So
then in
then
that case,
is
we
anything
can limit
which
your personal
so
freedoms.
then is anything which violates personal autonomy is that bad?
Like just anything in general, not
Uh,
necessarily.
I mean, I still haven't figured
I
out what bad is here.
I've mentioned this multiple times. I don't know how many more times I can
Well,
say
because
it.
I'll explain it so that you understand. If you say violation of personal autonomy is bad, unless X, right, then I'm still not sure what bad is and what a violation of personal autonomy would be that is bad. And then if you switch and say it's if you violate it within the realm of like suffering and that's bad, then I need to know what suffering is so that I can determine. I'm just trying to consistently check on to what bad is. You just keep saying you just keep shifting it from suffering to some type of like self governance authority. Like I'm still not actually sure. I'm still not actually sure what bad means here. So can you violate people's autonomy? Is that just sometimes? You think sometimes we can?
Yes, we can.
And
And we do.
can you limit people's access to hedonic activity? And is that always bad?
Is that always bad? No.
Okay.
You just asked two questions.
So all those things are not bad. So I'm asking what is bad?
So there is a certain level of harm that
What
is
is it?
acceptable in society. Well, that's like the gray line, isn't it?
So you don't
Obviously,
know?
as I mentioned, fast food is something that kills 300, well, obesity, more specifically, kills 300,000 people a year in America
Yeah.
alone. But
So
we don't ban
society
that.
so society is making the determination actually of what is bad then in your worldview.
Well, we're making like the legal decisions because of
Well,
democracy.
that
Yeah.
doesn't help me understand what bad is here. Like that literally doesn't help me understand what bad is when you say, well,
Can we
there's this.
actually understand why you want to ban pornography in the first place? You keep pivoting away from that.
No, I'll tell you again because it's against my preference.
Every time it comes back to like the original question and you defending your affirmative position, you don't want to engage.
I literally am defending my affirmative position. Right? You ready? Here's my argument. I'm going to give you my argument against pornography. Everything that's against my preference is fucking bad. I
And
want to
your
ban
preference is
pornography
solely based on
because
like what
it's
God tells
bad.
you to do?
Sure.
If God told you to rape someone, would you?
Let's just bite all the bullets. I'll do whatever God says because it's within my
Okay.
preference. Now, why is that
So
bad?
God tells you to commit genocide, you'll do it. You'll murder
Yeah.
everyone, you'll rape everyone.
And you'll fuck
And
everyone.
you're
You'll get
trying, wait,
blowjobs. You'll
and
get
you're
fucked up the
trying
ass,
to
and that's
get,
all fine because of some limited praxis of it's bad because I say it's bad.
so you're trying to get people to think that you are like the arbiter of a good moral system
Yes,
when
of
God
course,
would,
just like you.
okay, but
Yeah.
you would rape someone if God told you to.
And I'm sorry, wouldn't you rape somebody if it would save someone's life?
No,
Why not? Why
because
is
I'm
that
violating
bad?
someone's personal autonomy.
But the personal autonomy you said could be violated based on a social contract.
Okay, well, I just answered your question.
Well, here, let's reduce it this way. Maybe we can try it this way, right? There's a little tiny island off the coast of, well, it doesn't matter, but it's called Papua New Guinea. Inside of Papua New Guinea, this you can look this up right now. Go ahead, Google it if you don't believe me. There exists a tribe called the Cum Warriors of Papua New Guinea, and here's what they do.
Did you say come?
Yeah, come. Every
Okay.
single morning they go over to little tiny boys and they mouth hump them and load them up. Load them up every day with jizz right in their mouth, right? And the kids actually demand it because it's a warrior rite of passage inside of that society. They do it. They do it. The kids demand it. It's part of their social contract. Not kidding. Look it up. If you don't believe me, you can look it up right now.
No, I
Okay.
believe you. I've heard this.
What are they doing that's wrong?
So in my moral framework, I think pedophilia is wrong. In your moral
Why?
framework, if God told you to suck off a little boy's dick, you would
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, why? Why is it wrong in your framework to have pedophilia if it's part of the social contract?
Can you agree that you would suck a little boy's dick if God told you to?
Would you agree that you already suck
Wait, just say yes.
boys' dicks? No, of course
No,
not.
I wouldn't. Wait,
Of course
wait.
not.
So you wouldn't?
No, no, that would be outside my preference.
Okay, so you're just completely full of shit and don't believe in anything you're actually saying.
What do you mean? I believe in everything that's my preference.
Do you actually believe in anything? Are you even actually religious?
Yeah, I
I
believe
have
in
to
everything
ask. Are you actually
that's within my
religious?
preference.
Do you
Yeah.
have any actual morals?
Yes, of course. Wait, actual morals. I just got done telling
Like, do
you
you
that
actually believe in
every
anything you're saying?
fucking thing I prefer is moral, and you haven't been able to give me a single demonstrable argument for why it isn't. Not once.
I just got you to admit that if God told you to, if he commanded you to, you would suck a little boy's dick.
No,
I think
that
we're
literally
good to
never
go to the
happened.
Q&A.
No, I think we're not, because that, by the way, that never even happened. I
All right,
literally said no.
before you clarify
And
that,
on top of
Oh,
that,
sorry. You would rape
hold on,
yeah, that
people,
hold
never
on, hold
happened
on.
including little
either.
boys, if
Can you
God
go
told you
back?
to.
This
Can
is
you
a
go
little
back
late
to
to
the
lunch. All
Papa?
right,
Can you go back to the Papua New Guinea argument? Can you tell me why that's wrong for that culture to do
before we
that?
do that, Andrew, I just want to go over our poll. So I'm gonna make a new poll for our live chat. We've had over 1,500 votes, 1,700 votes actually in our poll right now. So big appreciation to our live chat for your participation. If you have a moment, if you have thumbs that can hit the like button, do so. No matter where you're seeing this on the interwebs, we appreciate it. It boosts the algorithm up. Let's beat that algorithm.
Aren't you? I got a question. Aren't you a top earner on OnlyFans?
Top earner?
Yeah, like
Sure.
you earn. Yeah, yeah. So
You
you have.
sidestepped me before I could
Hang
do
on.
the.
So you have a little bit.
No,
You
no,
have a
no.
little
Wait,
bit.
what?
You can ask the
Wasn't
question.
Ryan speaking?
Hold on. I just
Oh,
want to
I'm
go
sorry.
over the poll. It's okay. I know something popped into Andrew's head, and he wanted to get it hammered home, and it's okay. We appreciate that. It's a lot of fun. But the poll is at should explicit adult entertainment be banned? 60%
He
say
failed to engage.
yes. 30%. Now you're interrupting. See how?
Sorry, Ryan. Forgive me.
You-
Forgive
See
me.
who's better than who now? How could you? All right. So should explicit adult entertainment be banned? 60% said yes. 30% said no, and then 10% said be right back. Just need 5 minutes. Uh, okay. Well, hopefully you guys came back after your 5 minutes of fun. I'm gonna close out the poll, and we're gonna ask a similar question just to see where you guys are at. after this conversation. But Andrew, you wanted to take us back into some unanswered
Yeah,
territory.
so I
So go
assume
ahead.
you make a good living doing what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Would you like to make a $5,000 bet live right on air that you never got me to admit what you said you got me to admit, which is that I would suck a little boy's whatever when you asked
Oh
me
yeah,
that
no,
question?
sorry, that was my mistake. You would rape people and murder people. Sorry, my
Yeah,
bad, my bad.
yeah.
Including children, probably,
So
if
wait,
God told you to.
so you lied.
Oh, wait. So then you wouldn't do
So you
something.
lied.
No. You're lying about your moral framework. You
Why I
believe in
said that?
divine command theory,
Why
right?
did
So
I
anything
say?
God says is moral is
Why did
moral
I say I do? Why did I say I do? Because
because
it's
you believe in
within.
divine command
Because
theory.
it's within what?
Your moral framework, your
My
preferences.
preferences.
Yes, which is divine command
But
theory.
my preferences can change anytime, right?
No, you already said that your preferences are unchanging because you
That never.
subscribe to divine command
Would
theory.
you like to make a $5,000 bet? That never happened.
That what never happened.
That I never said my moral preferences can never change because of divine command theory. You just lied again.
You said that you're unchanging. Yeah, you did.
No, I said my preferences are unchanging, right? Everything I think is moral is unchanging as long as it's part of my
Yes.
preferences, which is fine. I can change my preferences. It's still that unchanging standard is my preferences. Do you understand that?
So your moral framework is unchanging.
No, my preferences can change, right? But
How could they change? It's based on what God
what
commands, is
is
it not?
unchanging is everything within my preferences is what's moral. So if it is the case that it
Because
is
it's what
moral,
God commands, correct?
as long as that's within my preferences,
Anything he commands is
as
moral.
long as it's within my preferences.
So you would go against God's commands.
If it wasn't in my preferences, of course.
So then the entire moral framework you're working off, where
What
something
moral
is
framework?
moral. So
What's my moral framework? What is it?
I'm literally in the middle of saying it.
I told you my moral framework
Something
is
is
everything
morally
based on my
good.
preferences.
Wait, you're going to let me finish? So something is morally good because God commands it.
No, something's
Correct?
morally good if it's in my preference. Can you repeat this for me? Andrew's moral.
No, that's not
I
what
said
you
this
said in the
50
beginning.
times. Yes, I did.
That's not what you said
I said I
earlier.
have an unchanging standard. My
Yes,
preferences.
you said that things are morally good because God commands them.
As long as it's within my preferences.
That was not what you said earlier.
It is what I said. Would you like to bet?
So you would go against God's commands.
As long as
based
it's
on your
within my
preferences.
preferences.
Exactly. So then you're
So
conceding that something is
conceding
not
what?
morally good simply because God commands it.
No, it'd be morally good if it's within my preferences like yours.
Okay, can you be intellectually honest?
That's being intellectually honest. If
No,
it's
it
within my
isn't.
moral preferences, it's good. What's
Why
wrong
are
with
you
that?
denying your own beliefs?
Denying what? What did I tell you? Everything within my preferences is what's moral, right?
You advocate for divine command theory, correct?
Sure, that's within my preference.
So then anything that God commands is morally good.
Unless it's not what?
So then that's not divine command theory.
What is divine command theory?
So that's what I just said.
What is it?
So something is morally good because God
Mhm.
commands it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that something is morally good if God commands it, if it's within my preferences.
Okay, well you've changed your answer then from when we
I haven't
first
changed anything.
talked about that.
Everything can. All I want to know is this.
Oh wait, so then why earlier
I've
did you
already
concede
answered.
that
Hang on, I just answered 5 of your questions. Now answer one of
Alright.
mine. Why, other than your preferences, would any of that even be fucking bad? Why?
Why would your preferences be bad?
Yeah.
To me?
Other
Because
than your preferences.
because your preferences lead to mass human suffering.
And that's just a preference you have that
Yes, it
human beings
is.
don't massively suffer, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
And
then
just like yours is based on a preference.
So what makes your preferences better than my preferences?
Because I think we should not let human beings suffer.
Oh, I think we should. What makes yours better than
Yeah,
that?
I know you should.
What makes yours better than that?
Let the people
You don't
decide
know.
for
You don't let
themselves.
people decide.
Let the
That's what
people.
makes them better. What makes
So,
you more?
so
Let the people decide.
why earlier did you concede that if God commanded you to rape people, you would?
No, I said I would bite
Is
the
that
bullet
within?
first. I
Is that
literally
within your
said I would
preference?
bite the bullet for the sake of the argument. Is what I said.
So you disagree with that now, or?
No, I bit the bullet to ask you why would that even be bad, and you said just because it'd be against my preferences.
Okay, so can you answer the question
I already
again?
did. Anything which is against my preferences, I'm against. Just
So
like you.
then you don't actually care what God commands.
Well, wait, of course I do.
You
It's
don't
within my
actually have any
preference.
real beliefs.
Yeah, of course I do. It's within my preference.
You don't actually have any real beliefs.
You're just making assertions. You don't actually have a brain in your head. You don't actually know what the fuck you're talking about. You're a fucking idiot. Like we could go on and on and on, but can you demonstrate? Can you demonstrate why any of my preferences are actually fucking bad? Other than that, you don't prefer them.
I
Go
mean, yeah,
ahead.
we can just look at countries that have adopted
Uh,
fascism and see how that turned out.
okay,
We can
let's
look at
talk about.
Nazi Germany.
Sure, let's talk about Spain. It adopted fascism. How'd that work out?
Uh, I'm not familiar.
Oh, I'm sure you're not, but I thought you just said that countries that adopted fascism worked
Wait,
bad for
what? I
them.
said, okay, yeah, but I specifically mentioned Nazi Germany,
What about it?
that it was not a good thing.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
disagree?
Do you agree that Soviet Russia was not a good thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. Do you agree that capitalists all over the world commit horrific genocides all the time?
Sure.
Okay, so then it sounds like all you're talking about is whatever political system, political theory you're talking about, it comes down to people doing whatever you think good thing is, right? Whatever that is.
Sure.
Like you could have a communist country that I don't know, like adhere to whatever your principle of not violating whatever the harm principle is, that would be good that they were communists then, if that led to that, right?
Um, like as long as we're not violating people's personal autonomy,
Then it's fine, right?
it's highly dependent on the situation.
Yeah. So let me just finish real quick with this. Okay. When the Spaniards got here, those evil Christians, they saw people getting sacrificed on top of a temple and they killed all of them, right? They killed all of these Indian sacrificing lunatics. Can you tell me why that was bad?
Because killing is bad.
Oh,
We should avoid that.
got
Can
it.
you tell me why genocide is bad?
Because genocide is bad, so we should avoid it.
Why have you not answered a single question I've
I
asked?
just gave you the same answer you gave me.
No, because I'm
No, yeah,
saying that,
yar, I did, yar.
okay, you have not answered a single question this entire debate.
No, in fact, I have answered your questions. The
No, you
problem is,
haven't.
I give you the same answer you
You couldn't
gave
even
me.
answer the simple question of what constitutes as
You
pornography.
you just said I gave you an entire standard. Said whatever South Korea considers
Mm-mm.
pornography is whatever I is what I consider pornography.
That's not an actual answer.
Why? Okay. Do you want to go through it step by step with
Yes,
whatever South
that's what
Korean
I've been
laws are?
saying multiple times.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go through South Korean laws for what is pornography. But I just want to point out to you that what you just said earlier was, yeah, it's bad because they killed people and that's bad. And then you said, why is genocide bad? And I said, genocide's bad because it's bad. And you took issue with that. Can you
Suffering
explain
is
why?
intrinsically bad,
Says who?
says just the human experience.
Says the human experience. Where can I
Yes.
find
So,
this?
like,
Where can I find
so
this
as a
human
species, we have
experience?
like a biological imperative to continue our species
And can sometimes continuing as a species
and aid
encompass a
survival.
genocide?
We don't want to die.
And sometimes can not dying encompass doing a genocide?
Um,
And this has what to do
Probably
with the
not.
adult
No.
explicit
Probably
Yeah.
answer.
not.
You know, if we
No.
could tie this
Really?
back in, the
You
morality of the
can't like
situation.
decimate one entire segment of a population in order to protect yours. Like for instance, let's say a country attacked yours, and then you went and bombed the shit out of their civilian population who was making weapons for you, right?
Yeah, I'm against like nuclear
Right
war and
down to
stuff.
the last man, because they were making weapons for for you to attack these other people. Wouldn't that then be human beings actually protecting them moving on under personal autonomy?
Yeah, I'm not really someone who's going to advocate for nuclear war. But
I didn't say anything about nuclear
you
war.
probably are, right?
I literally didn't say
In
anything.
terms of
Did
like
I say the
mod
word nuclear once?
well, you I assumed you meant that because
Did
you
I
said
say
just
the
bombing an
word
entire
nuclear once?
no.
No. Okay.
I'm
So
against
anyway,
bombing. My bad.
you're so all bombing,
Well,
even in
I'm against
self-defense,
war in general,
even in
obviously. Obviously,
self-defense.
there. No, well, no, of course not.
So then, if in self-defense your country's attacked, you attack another civilian population in order to get them to stop attacking you because they're making the weapons for the army. That could lead potentially to that G word, right? You
Mm.
would actually have to say that that's okay, right?
Well, they would be violating someone's personal autonomy.
Sure. So then I guess that the G word can indeed be conducive to human beings continuing to exist, can't it?
There is an acceptable level of harm. So
Oh,
if
sure.
it's
Yeah.
self-defense,
But the G.
yes,
So then the G
self-defense
word.
is
So then the
an
G
acceptable
word.
level of
So
harm.
then the G word under self-defense would actually be part of the human experience, wouldn't
In self-defense, yes, but
it? Okay.
you seem to think that it's fine just in general, right? Because God commands it.
No, I think everything that is right is in my preferences
Yes, based on what God commands.
based on
You
what
can't
I
even you can't
say.
even be honest about what you actually believe.
Based on what I said. What is I don't even understand. Even if I wasn't honest about what I said, why would that be bad?
Because we're here to have an honest debate, aren't we?
Yeah, but why
Or
should
at least
we
I am.
why do you even want to have an honest debate? Why? Is it bad not to?
Well, I think if you're gonna come on here with someone else who's being honest and good faith, then yeah,
You're
you
not
should
being
at least,
honest in good faith. You violated
yeah.
your principle in the very beginning. You refused to engage with me at all on what harm reduction actually was or meant, and said that in some way I was violating the terms of the debate by trying to get some kind of foundational ethical system out of you before we moved on to the prescriptive phase. And so because you disallowed,
Wait, I never said that. That
yeah,
never
you
happened.
did. And because
No.
this was, yeah, you said, can we get back to the debate? That's part of the debate is the ethical
So that's me
system.
claiming that you've violated the debate.
Yeah, you did. You
No.
said, let's get back to the debate. That means I'm not debating the top, but we
Well,
are.
I said let's get back to you defining
Yeah.
pornography,
So
which
what
you
we
have
could,
still failed to do. Where's
why
the
would that,
list?
why is that
Where's the
bad?
list?
Why is that bad?
Where's the list?
Of what? The Korean, South
You were
Korean
pulling it up. What
pornography?
happened to that?
Oh, well, we got on a side tangent where I was continuing to destroy your stupid ass worldview, which is based
Well,
on
you're
preference.
continuing to pivot away from all the questions I'm asking. Yeah.
Okay. So what question would you like me to answer?
Well, where's the list?
The South Korean list for what is
Yes.
pornography? Okay.
Yes.
I'll pull it up. Got my cell phone handy here.
All right. Well, we have another poll in the live chat there. We are going to get to the Q&A probably
It's a refers to a form of visual or
10
written
minutes,
material
guys.
depicting explicit sexual acts, which is largely illegal under the law, meaning that almost all types of pornography, including videos, images, blah blah blah. I guess I would have to get a little bit more granular, and we can
Okay,
get
wait.
into.
So that would then mean if you're sending nudes to your wife, you should be imprisoned, right?
No, actually, it doesn't have a prohibition. It's actually referencing public. It's referencing the public. So depicting explicit sexual acts, which is largely illegal under the law, meaning that almost all types of pornography, including videos, images, and written consent, are considered prohibited and subject to censorship by the government. Distribution of such materials, it can result in fines and imprisonment. I actually don't see anything here saying that if it was like to your wife, that would be problematic at all. If you could
So are
show
you
me where,
changing your stance on imprisonment now?
what do you mean?
Well, before you were saying that people who produce and watch pornography should go to jail. Now you're saying
And
that
that's
isn't the
what the
case?
law says here too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So even watching porn, you think people should be imprisoned?
sure. Let's send them to jail.
Like 80% of men on planet Earth should be in jail.
Sure. Send them to fucking jail.
80, so just everyone.
Do
Before
you
we,
think, well, do you think that if I said I was going to send you to jail if you watch porn, that it would still be 80% of men who watch porn?
There would still be a lot. Yeah.
Do you think it would be 80%?
Do you think that banning porn is going to stop
Can
people
you
from
answer my
watching
question?
porn?
Do you think it would be 80%?
80% of men regularly watch porn, yeah.
Yeah, do you think that if I made it fucking illegal, it would still be 80%?
It would still be very high, yes.
Would it still be 80%?
It would probably be a little bit lower.
all right.
Okay, how much lower?
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know.
I'm not
You
sure if
don't
we could.
know?
I'm not sure if
That's
we
what-
could determine that.
Well,
How
it's
am I
gonna be
supposed to
lower.
know
do want
that?
to jump in.
How much,
I
what
do
kind
want
of,
to jump in. So
what kind of question is that?
Well, I don't
hold on
know.
there, guys. Just looking at the time here. So I just put both of you on mute. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure if that can be determined. I'm not sure how we could actually get that data. But I do want to go over the poll, and I do want to remind you that we do have a lot of questions for the Q&A. So, if you want to put a few bows on some of the discussions and talking points that you've been getting into, certainly to our live audience, if you have questions, keep them coming in. No problem with that. Smash the like button if you haven't already. uh, you know, Lordy knows it's looking at you. It's saying do it. All right. So should pulling. So I came up with an anagram because I'm clever like that. So and say instead of saying the p word, I said should pulling our rods nightly be banned. 60% said yes and 40% said no. Yeah, it's a nasty one, I know. So let's see if we can put a few bows on the subjects that we are saying here. Gift wrap it there, fellas, and then we will get into that Q&A. Hopefully, I got 7 minutes on the timer, so I'm going to jump in 7 minutes. So let's see how you guys do. Whenever you're ready.
Are we doing closing statements? What are we doing?
No, it's just a matter of like if you have anything, like I said, that you don't feel like you've managed to get all of the topics on the table, we can try to get through it in the next.
No, I feel like
I
we got
mean,
through.
we
I feel
haven't
like we got
talked
through
at
everything.
all about like what kind of policies he would propose in order to ban
I
pornography.
mean, we have multiple times.
Like what?
Like, you go to jail. That would be a
Okay,
policy.
so
Is
you
that
fine with
not a
like,
policy?
so are you fine with like, the increased taxes that'll incur for the billions of dollars that it will cost to regulate pornography consumption?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that bad?
Is what bad?
Is it bad that I would raise
Advocating
taxes?
for raised taxes? No.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right. I think that's a good place to close off there because we do have so many questions. So a big round of virtual applause to Diddley and Andrew for coming out and having the discussion there tonight. Yeah, we have a lot of questions from you guys, the live chat. Keep your votes coming in. Should pulling our rods nightly be banned? 61% are saying yes, it should be banned now. So it's gone
The
up
curb.
1% since then. See, I'm coming up with clever ways to make anagrams. Pat myself on the back in the morning. Let's see here. We're gonna ask some of those questions, and thank you so much, everybody, for your participation. A lot of really great engagement in the live chat. Like I said before, if you haven't hit the like button, do so now. It really helps boost us up in the algorithm, especially where we're about to take our audience questions. We're a little later phase in the debate, and also, more importantly, Andrew is going to be hanging out in 2 days, Newark, New Jersey. It's going to be great. It's for our DebateCon 5. There are lots of debates that are going to be there, not just Andrew's, but, certainly at this point, I'd say you're kind of a featured guest. Is that fair to say, Andrew?
Yeah, I probably have a larger audience than anybody else there, I would say.
There you go.
You have more than 600,000 subscribers?
How many do you get live viewing in?
On YouTube
Yeah.
or Twitch, like altogether, maybe 3,000.
Oh, yeah, much smaller.
Well, we just,
That's small.
booked you up with that surprise.
Yeah, I got 7,000 right this second. Just
Cool,
pointing that
nice.
out. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You're cleaning house. Look at you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's ask those super chats and we'll get through them. Dylan Deschener says, "Why can't Canadians pronounce sorry or Newark properly?" JK, love you, Ryan. Well, love you too, random citizen. As my Megamind quotes go. But we pronounce a few things weird up here in the north. Like I said earlier, what's this all about? We're debating whether this, explicit adult content should be banned. So, yeah, if you're wondering, that's what we're on about. Even Lord says, "Why does Pornhub want minors to watch Prown?" So I think even Lord is saying that there's not enough, safety gates to prevent minors from getting access to these things. But I don't know if there's I don't know. I don't know if there's an agenda there to actually get that to happen, but maybe there's not enough safeguards. But let's let our panel discuss it. Go ahead there, Diddley.
Yeah, there's like lots of safeguards that are built into computers and stuff that parents can use to ensure that their children aren't viewing pornography, things that just like completely block all pornography or sites. I think Pornhub within the last few years, I think it was about 4 years ago, was it? They came out with a really cool verification system that completely wiped out any videos on the website that weren't from verified users, which I think was a really good move. And I also think OnlyFans does an even better job at safeguarding children from viewing the content by hiding it obviously behind a paywall. So it instantly makes it a lot harder for children to access. But yeah, I think we should definitely educate parents more on how to safeguard their children to not be viewing this kind of content online.
I have, on the other hand, a 100% safeguard. We shut it down and we put them all in fucking prison. And I will have zero objections from my debate opponent, who will never be able to tell any of you why that's even fucking bad or wrong.
I did multiple times.
Except she just doesn't fucking prefer it.
I don't think we should be violating people's personal autonomy like
Because
that.
you prefer we don't?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you prefer that we do.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the
so
thing. So listen to this rationally. To you, ladies and gentlemen, didn't understand what I was doing the entire night, but pointing out how stupid this is. Here's what's going on. Everything this woman is telling you, she's literally saying to you, because I just really fucking think so. Right? I just really think so. I just really think we should, because I just really think we should. Everything which is bad, she's the ultimate arbiter of, right? You could say, well, Andrew, you evil fast this and that. I would just go shut it down. I'd send in men with guns. They'd kick the fucking doors in. They'd throw your ass on your face. You'd get arrested. They would burn the fucking building down on their way out after they made sure it was cleared of all civilians, right? She can't even tell you why that's bad. She can only tell you that she just doesn't prefer that you do that. That's it. Right?
So,
the adherence to this stupid ass principle makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. There's no
yeah, so
good
I
reason
can admit
why
that
it
it's
is
based
that,
on personal preference, but you can't because you think it's based on
how many times do I have to say
morality,
personal
right?
preference? How many times do I have to say it's
Yeah, but
it's my
that's a
personal
lie.
preference?
That's a lie.
All right, let's ask the next
Wait,
question.
wait. Is that bad?
Is it bad to lie? Based on the Bible, it is. It's a sin. Actually, you should be praying tonight for forgiveness.
Do you think it's bad?
Last back and forth, we'll ask the next question.
No, I just think it's really bad.
You don't think it's bad to lie, so who cares?
All right. Dylan Deschner says Andrew went to debate university.
I don't think it's sinful.
All right,
no.
1 second there.
You don't think it's bad?
Hold on 1 second there. We're going to ask the next question.